comes forward to help us out with our national anthem and Pledge of Allegiance, I want us to repeat together the core values of Rotary. I'll say them and then you repeat it after me. Friendship. Friendship. Leadership. Leadership. Integrity. Integrity. Diversity. Diversity. Service. Service. Great. You've got the core values. Derek, come on.
And Dallas Club adds, and have fun. We might want to do that. If you would, join me in standing to honor our country. Where's our flag? There it is. Oh, well, it's hidden. Our pledge first. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And could I just take 1 minute? LaRue, come up here. Judy, come up here. I found out from their bios, singers, we're always recruiting singers. I want y'all to come sing with me the national anthem. I should have done this. Sorry to take up time. LaRue and Judy are singers. That's all I have. We're going to sing and pledge together. Okay. Oh, say, can you sing? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the land we marched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, ladies. I don't think we've ever had a trio doing the national anthem. All right. Let's have our blessings, shall we? Join me as we pray. God, thank you so much for this day and for the privilege of being here with friends and being a part of this Rotary Club and for the privilege of serving our community. We so want to be a positive influence in our community. We so want to see families that enjoy living in Tyler, coming to Tyler, fellowshipping, and enjoying our businesses, enjoying our churches, and enjoying the just a wonderful, wonderful life that we have here in our city. We thank you for the blessings that we have incurred, and we look forward to the great blessings that we are about to receive, especially during this time of year. We ask special blessings upon each of our families as we celebrate Christmas, and we pray especially as well that during this cold weather time that everybody's protected and no one will be receiving some difficult time because of weather. So Lord, bless us all, help our club to accomplish our purpose, and may Rotary International be a lighthouse that reaches people for the better as we look to the future. We thank you again for blessing us and the one who created us and provided this place for this purpose. We thank you. And everyone says, Amen. Thank you. Be seated, please. We're so delighted to have you with us today. It's a wonderful day. At our table, we're talking about the weather. This is probably one of the first times coming to Rotary that everybody walked in the room and it was nice outside, and when we get ready to leave at 1 o'clock, it's going to be cold. So I hope you brought your coats. And we just want to welcome you to be here, our members as well as our guests. So first of all, we'd like to recognize any visiting Rotarians that might be with us today. If you are a visiting Rotarian, come to the back table back here, and the center table in the back, And the R table to my left in the back, visiting Rotarians. All right, up here in the front, visiting Rotarian. At this table, over at the middle table. And then our front table to my right. Okay. Now it's time to introduce our guests. If you brought a guest, would you please stand so I can see where you are? Starting at the back table, Greg. Greg stepped out, so you get the honor then. Okay.
We brought our, where you going?
Hi, everybody. Merry Christmas. I'd like to introduce my two daughters, two of the many. And so if Lisa could please stand. Lisa, visiting town. She's an executive pastry chef. She's in between here in Chicago. Army First Lieutenant Kate Powell, 4th generation Army, and Army nurse. She'll be headed to San Antonio for 5 months, and then she'll be stationed at Fort Bliss. When she called me and said, "Dad, where's Fort Bliss?" I said, "On the other side of the planet." Big.
Okay, how about this table? We have introduced. Okay. Back here at this table, a guest. All right. Here at this table, do we have a guest to be introduced? All right. We have the guest here. Okay.
Hi, this is my friend. She's been here before. This is Deborah Bramble, and she has been here in Tyler for about 6 or 7 years. And she is kind of retired as a dental consultant, but she's a multi-talented fundraiser, and I'm so glad to have her here.
Well, welcome. Glad to have you with us today. Thank you for being here. Do we have a guest at the table? All right. We have a guest at this table to be introduced. All right. Somebody who really wants these needs to look in their pocket.
They're mine.
They were about the coffee pot. It's a group of tickets that might come in handy later. All right. Welcome to Rotary today, and hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day out. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, David. Vicki Conway has already slipped out. She was our pianist for today, and we're very, very thankful for that. Our greeter for today was Jim Robertson, doing great duty. Thank you very much, Jim, for your greetings there. Paul Gleiser is not here in order to do This Week in History. So we're going to go ahead and jump forward onto Rotary business. Believe it or not, the Ukraine project is completed. $7,000 we raised for Ukraine, and we have two of the best ambassadors in the nation for that particular country with Chris and Christy. And we're deeply, deeply thankful to all of you that made any kind of effort toward funding that project. It is helpful, it is going to the right place. Holly needs your November hours in which you volunteer to any kind of nonprofit organization. Please let her know that we keep track of those hours. We need to have Lupita in the room. Now, how do we get a hold of her? Where do we go to find her? Dr. Edwards is going to go on a mission for us on that.
Yeah, you know what? Holly. Yes, ma'am. This was. No, one's mine. Yes, sorry. Okay, what?
Okay, Lupita, I cannot even begin to function in this room without you, nor can our club, because you hands down perform over and above every single week. And frankly, pardon my words, but you saved my bacon on numerous occasions. And we love you and appreciate you so much. And we would like to give you this token of appreciation.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Merry Christmas.
And you talk about saving bacon, Holly does that for me, just almost week in and week out. Merry Christmas to you.
Allison. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, we now have club and foundation financial review with Jennifer. You're on.
All right. Okay, I'll put some papers on your tables if you want to follow along. And this is just a little snapshot of what the board goes over each month in our board meetings. We do it in a little more detail. But our total assets for the year as of November 30th is going to be $36,228. Our liabilities as of that same time period, it sits just under $10,000 at $9,583. And that gives us equity of $22,000 and $22 on the 22nd day of December 2022. So then we'll go on down and we will visit about where we're at on our budget for the year. Our budget for the fiscal year is listed in the first column. And for those of you that don't know, our fiscal year goes from July to the following June each year. So we are 6 months in at this point. We are budgeted to have income of $187 for the year. As of today, we're at $56,555. So we're at almost 65% of our budget on income as of right now. Our total expenses were budgeted at $82,796 for the entire year. And we're just a little over 50,000 into that right now, which also is about 60% of what we budgeted for the year. Net income is budgeted to come out around $4,400 at the end of the year. Right now, we're sitting at $6,400. So we are over budget on total income. But, you know, different expenses fall at different times. And our club basically has 2 big income months, which is when we collect semi-annual dues. So a lot of these things will continue to filter through. But overall, myself and the board feel like we're at a good position right now. Does anyone have any questions over the club financials so far? Okay. So then I wanted to give an overview of the Tyler Rotary Foundation. And if you're not familiar with that, we do give you an opportunity each time that you pay your dues to contribute to the Tyler Rotary Foundation. And that is what allows us to do many wonderful projects throughout the year. It's kind of a nest egg, and we use the interest that earns to put into projects. And then you're also able to contribute directly to those projects. And so our balance on our foundation fund is $89,215, and that's as of November 30th. We were at around 100,000, which was a long time goal for us, but with the recent market turn, we did get a hit on that. But I feel confident that as the tide changes, that we will grow that again. And our funds available to withdraw for projects at this time is just over $9,400. And so I wanted to highlight some of the projects that those funds have done over the past year. And we did contribute $5,000 to the Guatemala Maternity Hospital. And I think you may remember we had a speaker about that a while back, but that was able to renovate the rooms and restrooms and put air conditioning in that hospital, and that's a huge thing for those ladies there. We also contributed $6616 to the Camp B project, and I think most everybody in here is familiar with what a great resource Camp B is. And so that went into their women's center to help them finish out their kitchen. We also contributed almost $5,600 to the annual Tyler Young Citizens Banquet. And I know some of you are new, but that is probably one of the most wonderful things we do every year. It honors 2 students from every single middle school, high school, and college campus in the Tyler area in the Smith County. And we've been doing that for over 90 years, this club has. And so there's no cost to the honorees. We do have the guests pay for their meal, and then the club supplements the rest of the expenses on that. We also contributed $2,000 to the Bethesda Dental Clinic, and I'm sure you've heard Dr. Nichols talk about how rewarding that is to help these recovering drug addicts or just people who are highly disadvantaged to fix their teeth so that they can go and get a job, and contribute. So that's a wonderful thing too. And then we also contributed $5,000 to the Guatemala Eye Clinic. And that, let me see, I'm gonna have to read this one. It's an ophthalmic ultrasound machine that helps check for irregularities and tumors of the eye for patients in the San Benito Hospital. This device treats between 150 and 200 patients per year that would otherwise be required to drive 8 hours each way to get similar treatment. So that's something to be proud of too. And then we also contributed $345 to Beauty in the Box. And I'm sure you've all seen the electrical boxes on the intersections in Tyler and the beautiful art. Well, we have one of those with a beautiful eagle on it that says sponsored by the Rotary Club of Tyler. So that's what that was.
Best looking one out there.
Absolutely. And then, as I'm sure you've already heard before I got in the room, but we made a $10,000 contribution for medical kits and food kits, hygiene kits for the people of Ukraine. And I just think we should all give ourselves a hand for all these, wonderful contributions that we've done throughout the year.
Do you know where it's located, Louise?
Highway 271 in Hillsborough Road.
271 in Hillsborough Road.
Okay. Thank you. I have a question. The Bethesda Dental Clinic, that $2,000, was that donated locally or is that?
Yes, Bethesda is here locally. Mhm. It's I can't remember, it's close to the First Baptist downtown, right? Okay, yeah. And they provide health care and dental care to people who are employed but don't have health insurance.
Yeah, I know what it is. I was just wondering if this was a contribution.
Stayed here
locally.
Yeah. Yeah, they,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They only do.
okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I believe that total is approximately $34,000 in all.
Yes, sir, it is. So that's a huge pat on the back for this club. And I know it's gone a long way to help our community here and internationally. I did want to mention that for those of you who don't know, we had a longtime member of our club, Michael Stevens, who served as our treasurer for many years. And even after he decided to kind of step back from the club and do some traveling and things, he continued to do our financials in the background. And he also prepared our taxes each year. And Michael passed away in April, which was heartbreaking for many of us that knew him for a long time. And I do want to thank the board for jumping quickly on the fact that we needed to get a QuickBooks program and we needed to do a lot of things to start doing our financials internally. And I also want to thank Holly because she did a tremendous amount of work from getting the files from Michael's office and converting them into our new QuickBooks software. And that was a big transition for us and a lot of work to get that going. Thank you.
with that said, we've got a pretty good handle on preparing our financials and taking care of those. But we do have a loss of someone to do our taxes for us, because obviously those were done free of charge for the club. We have someone that's going to take care of the club taxes for this year, but there will be a fee incurred, and the club taxes and the foundation taxes do have to be prepared by separate accountants. And so not only do we need someone to take over the club taxes, but Buddy Hawk, who has done our taxes for the foundation gratis for many, many years, he decided to retire, which is well deserved. So we also need someone to do those taxes as well. There are people with those firms that have offered to take that on, but it will be an expense to the club. And the two together is probably close to $1,000 a year. So if you have any friends or if you are an accountant and you would like to help us out with that, we'd be greatly appreciated. Fantastic. All right, and that concludes my report.
And an excellent report it is. Thank you so very much, Jennifer. That is simply great. We have now the election of officers and directors for the 2023 through 2025 Rotary years. I'm going to read to you the slate of officers and directors for the upcoming terms. For the years of 2023 to 2024, the officers and directors are nominated to be President Trudy Williams, President-elect and Program Chair Colby McAwee, Secretary Treasurer is going to be Jennifer Dobbins, Administrative Assistant Holly Lewis, Sergeant at Arms James Blair III, Community Service Rochelle Ewart, Vocational Service Ashley Wilson, International Service Chris and Christy Hill, Youth Service Austin Luce, and Public Image will be Bill Kroon. We're going to vote on both of these at the same time, I think. Then the 2024 to 2025 officers and directors are nominated to be President Colby McAwee, President-elect nominee Ashley Wilson, Secretary Treasurer Jennifer Dobbins, Administrative Assistant Executive Secretary Holly Lewis, Sergeant at Arms Jim Blair III. One of these days he's going to get that job down right. Club Service is going to be Greg Polka. New member orientation is going to be Brooks Melton. Community Service Kathy Levin. Vocational Service is Rebecca Jones. International Service Dr. David Nichols. Youth Service is Jonathan Goza, and Public Image will be Bill Kroon. As the president of the Rotary Club of Tyler, I move to accept this slate of officers for 2023 through 2025 Rotary years. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. And it stands unanimously. Thank you very much. I give a great slate of officers there. Okay, we come now to probably one of the main features of today's program, and if our benevolences, what we pay locally and internationally, didn't make you proud of our club, this next section is going to make you even more proud. I'm going to call forward Rochelle Ewart, who is going to do our new member inductions, and sponsors are Gareth Bonderon, Rochelle Ewart, Mike Metke, and Sandy Wells.
Thank you, Allison. Appreciate you so much. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm super excited about this, just like every time, but some of the people on this list really just, I'm really grateful to know you all, and we want to welcome you to this amazing club. Bear with me here. Hey, if it weren't for Holly, I'm telling y'all, we would all be just running around like chickens with their heads cut off.
Ah, you'd be just fine.
Yes.
You
Okay.
figure it out.
I have the privilege today of presenting I'm gonna list them all, if that's okay. Steve Emmons, do they need to come up?
Yes.
If y'all don't mind, come on up as I call your names, appreciate you. Julia Gardner, Perry Flowers, Sarah Steinbrook, Brooke, I hope I'm pronouncing
Yeah,
that right.
She's
Gosh.
not here.
Okay. Perry Langens, is it Langenstein? Stein, I'm sorry.
David Stein.
LaRue Decker, Nidra Allgood, Judy Venable Grogan, and is that it? Those are all sponsored by Derek, who is thebomb.com. Seriously.
She paid us.
All have been approved for membership in this club by the board of directors in accordance with the Constitution and bylaws of the Rotary Club of Tyler, the Rotary Club of Tyler. Approval indicates that these candidates are worthy representatives of their calling and supportive of the ideals of Rotary. They reflect the high ethical standards expected of all Rotarians and understand that service above self is not just a motto, but a goal that all Rotarians strive for, absolutely. They have agreed to accept the obligations attached to membership in Rotary and understand that they will represent Rotary in their public, private, and social lives. Dareth, if you would like to introduce your candidates to the club.
Yes.
There you go.
Thank you.
Great job, Derek.
Yeah, stand up here.
Yes.
Thank you.
I gotta keep my section.
What a privilege it is to introduce our corporate membership today. How many other corporate memberships do we have, Holly?
We have three. We have Tyler Junior College, we have TJ and Texas College, and now Thriving.
One, Thriving. So our new corporate membership, and it includes 4 people. So I use this for a plug, Rochelle, that anybody that has a business that needs to join us, and you can have 4 members in that regard, so it'd be really great.
That's great.
Thank you for Steve for accomplishing this, Perry for being my go-between, and also Julia, gotten to know you through all this in marketing. I really appreciate it. Thriving, Compass Financial Group, as they are called, full-service financial planning team is a Thrivent branch. They are located here near downtown in the new building. After 20 years, they've moved just this year. Business partners Steve Emmons and Perry Flowers. We'll have 2 Perrys introduced today. But Perry Flowers formally joined together early this year and formed Compass Financial Group, providing personalized financial planning guidance to people at all stages of life. Thrivent is spelled thrive. So you want all your financial planning to thrive. So Thrivent. Thrivent, a well-kept secret to many Americans I did not know, and they were established over 100 years ago. They are number 318 on Forbes 500 list, score the highest in the echelons of security ratings, A+++, and has been the Ethisphere's world's most ethical company list for the. So I didn't even know that existed. I think that's such a monumental kudos there. A faith-based financial planning organization. They combine faith and finances. Who wouldn't want to have that? Thrivent offers advice and solutions in the areas of retirement planning, investments, charitable giving, insurance, and more. And also, I want to tell you a little bit about, I'm going down the list, introducing Steve first. Steve Emmons, I think it's very unique that he went from a career of being a wedding photographer and into financial planning. So I thought into myself, so you're keeping those happy pictures happy throughout their lives if they have strong financial faith-based planning. And so we want to keep those pictures happy. He joined as part of a special day. I guess it was truly a blessing, he says, from God when he made this transition in this career. So it was definitely a calling to help people in their finances. He's enjoyed many transitions during his life, but this is such a meaningful plan for him to be able to transfer the picture capturing of a special day into financial planning and full service financial advisor. He has a vast experience in insurance, estate planning, and tax strategies in retirement. Also, he has certification in long-term care insurance, Series 66 and 7, of course, licenses, and is licensed to practice in 12 states. And he has a wonderful testimony of all that. So I suggest any of you, and I won't say this in commercial in every one of these introductions, but I suggest to all of you to invite them to sit at your table, get to know them, invite them to lunch, go see their offices, and let's treat them like Rotary family instead of continued in our clumps, in our little groups of, as we sit in Rotary groups. I know Pamela moves around, I like it. Okay.
25 years.
And 25 years in that financial planning, that's right. So that's been a long time. Let's meet Julia. Julia Gardner, following a wonderful career in sales in the food industry. Julia joined Thriving as a community engagement leader for Thriving in the Dallas market. She's been there several years and returned to Tyler. So Julia's work focuses on marketing the team, the community, community involvement, and client experiences where she uses her strength in communication, relationship building, sounds like Rotary, to create opportunities, connect,
Plug her
and
in.
finance. There you go. That's plugging her in. She's a great member of the team. Her husband, John, Jon, and they have 4 children, 7 perfect grandchildren. And she
I might have
enjoys,
wrote that myself.
yeah. And she enjoys gardening, volunteering, playing mahjong, and plans to travel the world one country at a time. That's the best way to do it. Okay. And also, the other partner in this team is Perry, and Perry Flowers. Perry, they know what Perry is there for. The Flowers family, they've had quite a few changes in the last few years. They moved in from Highway Lake into Tyler, and in early 2020. And then Perry exchanged a career as a physical therapist to a financial planner. So also, it was a calling for her. She went from remedying people in pain to people delivering them from pain of finances. So, but I think it's very unique. She has her MBA and BS degrees from UT Tyler, so she's a UT Tyler alum right here. And also hers holds a certificate in long-term insurance care and her licenses in 66 and 7 licenses. So she's also practiced in 6 states. So her interest as a financial advisor, very interesting and a unique twist and turn, I should say, in this, because her strongest desires are to create an urgency for college students in financial planning, and college planning also for parents to plan for college strategies, meaning engaging financially and educating women in finance. So she does programs, she does presentations. She'll do any opportunity, small group or large group, to make presentations, Rochelle. So this is wonderful things that she might want to present to our club sometime.
Yes.
But when she's not in the office, you can find her with her family on the tennis courts or playing golf and playing soccer with friends. And we'll introduce Sarah, another part of this team, SARA, and she is the guiding shift for the organization. She makes sure everything is running smoothly, and just made the huge shift after 20 years in one location to move to another location. So that's our Thriving members, and I'm sure we're going to wait till all the end to give you the secret handshake and pledge and all of that.
Can't wait.
So, okay. Welcome.
Welcome.
Next, I'm going to introduce Perry Langenstein. Like David Stein, we know David Stein, and Perry Langenstein. He's an East Texan who has lived in Jefferson, Marshall, Longview, and now Tyler. graduated from Longview High, and most recently, he was given the Distinguished Alumni Award for Longview High School. And he enlisted in the United States Marines shortly after he graduated from high school. When he was honorably discharged, he attended Texas Tech and then shifted to TCU with scholarships there in all things theater and business. He studied theater beginning in high school and continued through graduation. He's an actor, producer, director, design consultant to architects and development of theaters and other forms of public assembly. Projects, amazingly, so he is Rotarian through and through, international projects, United States, Canada, Mexico, and 10 other foreign countries that he has been the principal in planning that theater and all the integral parts. Perry's been a single parent of twin boys. Justin's a manager director. He manages American theme parks all over. And his son Aaron is a chef in very 4-star restaurants all over, 5-star, several prominent restaurants, not too many to list. His daughter Jennifer is a prima ballerina, just retired, and married a Russian from the Bolshevik Ballet Theater, and very prominent couple there in Laguna Beach, and they have a wonderful classical ballet academy there now. And they have 3 children, so that's 3 grandchildren there. Perry, welcome Perry Langenstein. LaRue Decker, we have distinguished people here today. LaRue worked as one of the first female landmen, I guess it's landwoman, to serve landman in the Texas oil and gas industry, becoming an oil and gas brokerage business owner as well. She even mentored young interns to become landmen. She served on the East Texas Landman's Board for 7 years, including as president, and only 3 women have done that. So she very coveted position, and she served. LaRue made a name for herself as I pulled out of a lot of things, but she is known as the fixer. So I don't know what that means. That scares me, Holly. She's a fixer. She'll fix us before you know it, Allison. She's a fixer and a troubleshooter. Her last career position was as Vice President of ELF Energy Exploration, as Vice President of Land and New Business Development. She's proud of being an Army brat. After 9/11, she became very interested in Wounded Warriors Foundation of Texas, and she served on the board since then, and she is a workaholic on that, and her heart is 120% in it. She's a life member of the American Legion Auxiliary, a life member DM of the Camp Fannin Board, and a member of the American Daughters of Confederacy. She's served in various leadership positions in churches in the area. She's an advocate for children. She can go into that, and they might have a whole program on that, and how we need to save children these days. And LaRue is just simply passionate about serving others. Glad to know you and call you my best friend, LaRue. Judy Venable, Grogan. I call her Judy Venable sometimes, Judy V, but Judy Grogan. She lives in Tyler with her 4 British labs and her little Yorkie. And why that's important, I'm not naming everybody's dogs, but she bred labs and then donated them to veterans groups to be trained. So they were highly bred and very important style that they used to train as service or even hunting dogs for them on properties. So Judy graduated from John Tyler, and her career has taken her from nurse's aide to real estate broker. She's volunteered for many organizations and received an award for service to her community as president of the Women's Council of Realtors in the early 80s. That she served as president of both the Henderson County and the South Dallas County Women's Council of Realtors, Presidente. Judy was an officer at the Southwest Dallas County Republicans Club and continues to volunteer on many political campaigns. She loves the arts. Besides singing, she performs with theaters in Dallas, Van Zandt counties, and Tyler Civic Theater here most recently. She retired after 18 years with City Mortgage, Citibank, and moved back to Tyler in 2014, where she's volunteered with Hospice East Texas and also as a court-appointed special advocate, CASA. She sings and serves as soprano section leader in her choir, but she volunteers in her service above self, includes also vice cemetery, and that counts as hours. All right, she is over 50 years in the real estate industry and now a broker associate with Coldwell Banker Apex here in Tyler. She has 3 children and 6 perfect grandchildren. So Judy Venable Brogan, welcome. And this, I think, our last but not least, Nidra Lajine, all good. Her middle name. Nidra Lajine is my twin sister. I'm 9 minutes older. She'll tell you that.
You can tell.
Good twin, evil twin. But she moved here about 1 year ago, and this month from Gulfport, Mississippi, our hometown. Nidra is a graduate of Southern Miss, where she was a Dixie Darling and Southern Miss of the Southern Miss dance team, among other things. Her career has been in retail management. That was her degree. She's been and served in that in so many capacities, but it took her to Florida, Texas, and all in between. Also, her desire is, and her continued work was in merchandising, marketing, and special events planning. She's worked as a fundraiser for various organizations, especially the Humane Society of South Mississippi, near and dear, and the Beauvoir home. She was a volunteer for Beauvoir, the home of the Presidential Library of Jefferson Davis. It's located in Biloxi, Mississippi. She's served on the board of directors for the Leaf Foundation, and that is the foundation, one of the many foundations that raises funds for the Miss Mississippi pageant exclusively for those scholarships. She's a member of the Smith County Republican Club, Smith County Republican Club for Women, and the Women's Symphony League. She serves Smith County as a certified poll watcher and also the state of Texas as a deputy voter registrar. So she wasn't born in Texas, but she got here fast, and now she's in charge of voting. Glad to have Nidra all the way.
So go ahead and get everyone. Okay, got you, just making sure.
And because we were Green Bay Packers, all under the Packers,
Oh,
so you're all
Very
getting
nice.
Packer mugs from Vince Lombardi.
Oh, this is funny. It has this.
Vince Lombardi personally sent these. I'm sorry to take, you can go ahead and take them time.
That's funny.
Thank you very
Look
much.
at this one. This one has the Chiefs score on it when they. Oh.
Yeah, the Chiefs score on
I
this.
saw that. Pretty cute.
okay, next. This is so exciting. Mike Metke, who I'm honored to know, is going to be presenting Martin, such an awesome gentleman. Come on up here, Mike. And yes, go right ahead.
I did not do my homework, but Bill Martin, I'm proud to conduct. He's a neighbor and friend. And when we got here in 2007, it seemed like every worthwhile cause Bill Martin was involved in, whether it was the chamber, TDC, or also very active in donating. One thing that only Bill Martin can claim in this whole room, when he was president of Rotary, Bill was responsible for opening up to women. There were no women, and responsible for the loss of a few men, as I recall. So wonderful. There are folks here who have known Bill a lot longer. He's, I think, 35 years with Sears, and he was CEO in Tyler Sears for many years. Anybody else? Do you have anything you wanted to mention about Bill?
He's been a great citizen of Tyler over the years. We miss his late wife, Jody.
Jody is a wonderful, wonderful lady.
He also ran United Way. He was the campaign chair. He was the executive director for a number of years. So Bill's fingerprints were all over this.
Thank you for helping me. Welcome, Bill Martin. Thank you.
up here, if you don't mind, who will be presenting our friend Jonathan Goza.
Here you go.
So I asked Jonathan, because when I originally suggested that we sponsor him, that I sponsor him, it was like in the summer. So I said to him, did you turn anything in with your background in it? He said, I don't even remember, it was such a long time ago. So I had the pleasure of meeting Jonathan at a Founder's Day dinner right here in the club. Founder's Day being the day that West Pointers celebrate the establishment of the United States Military Academy. So like Greg Polka and like my husband, my brother, and one of my sons, it was so great to meet another grad here in Tyler. Jonathan had just moved here pretty recently from that. He was an Army officer, and of course I had some kinship with that because I was an Army officer. I was not an armor officer. He was an armor officer. So left the world of tanks, and now Jonathan is an executive coach. If any of you have had an opportunity to be in LinkedIn, the social connection, if you become a colleague, professional colleague of Jonathan, you will see that he very often has got a video clip where he's giving free suggestions and professional guidance to people who are in his network. So that's always great. I always know what Jonathan's up to, because if I don't have a chance to see him here, because he's sometimes working, traveling, I always take a look at LinkedIn and I see Jonathan. He has 2 little girls. Actually, I don't know that they're too little.
Yeah, 11 and 8.
It's not too little. And so.
You just wait.
Yeah. So I'm very happy that he's here. I was so honored to hear that you were one of the candidates for one of the positions in the next. And I thought, oh, wonderful, wonderful, because he's really a very active fellow. And I think you're going to add so much to our club. Thank you so much.
Okay. Next is myself. First and foremost, Mike Yanez. Mike Yanez is a dear friend. I've been here a little over 4 years now, and my son-in-law introduced me to he and his beautiful wife, Mary. And he was with Cables Roofing. He came from the South Tyler Rotary and transferred over to here. He's at home sick today, so he is watching. Hey, Mike! He's now owns Best Budget Flooring and Remodeling, does amazing work. Any of you are in need of any of those services, Mike, we just want to thank you.
We got you on there.
We got you, okay. And then I need to get Dr. V up here because I'm so impressed by him. I actually met Dr. V. It was at a chamber function at the chamber offices. Come on up, Dr. V. And I apologize. I call him Dr. V because his name, I don't want to slaughter it. So I just need a hug. I just need a hug. Thank you so much. He was sitting in traffic. You sent me a text and you were sitting in traffic. So come on up here. I want everybody to know exactly who you are and what you do, and you're getting ready to get to present at one of our next talk to them.
So I'm, that's true, it's a long name, Venugopal Ramani. People call me by Dr. V or Dr. Venu, or Venu, whatever. I got interested in, I'm an associate professor of management at University of Texas at Tyler. I joined in 2012 and has been in Tyler for the last 10 years. So recently I got interested in type of leadership, which is called servant leadership. And I do talks basically on that to educate people the value of that type of leadership in any context. So I do workshops, talks, and other things. even though my main topic of interest is in healthcare management. I do healthcare analytics, cybersecurity, things like that, which is very different than leadership style. But I do talks and videos and newsletters. If you are somebody was talking about LinkedIn, I am in LinkedIn and I'm publishing heavily on that on servant leadership. If you have been to LinkedIn, I would be happy. It would be great if you can follow me on the newsletter part. Apart from that, I do stand-up comedy, which is quite different.
Opposite end of the spectrum.
I worked with Tyler City Theatre on acting for several years before the COVID hit. So I was involved with several acting projects and including a movie with one of the directors there. So I'm quite different from what I have been trained to. So I go into the both end of the spectrum. And I used to perform in Heiner's and Dallas comedy, house and other things, but I have to get back. The COVID killed everything, and I have not got back into things. But I heard that there is a comedy theater here, so I will be performing there soon. Comedy side. So that is me. Thanks for this opportunity. I really appreciate. I read about Rotary, and I think the leadership which I am trying to pursue is very much in line with the Rotary intentions and Rotary ideas. So I thought it would be great to associate with this great organization, and I requested to join this organization. Thank you very much.
And he's also the sponsor of our Rotary Club at UT Tyler.
Okay, so sorry, y'all. Here we go. So now they all need to come back up, correct?
Yes, if they, or they can stand in their,
Or you can
in their
stand up.
place.
Okay,
Yeah.
if y'all don't mind, let's just stand up.
He's short and sweet.
All right, look at this. This is so awesome. I love it. All right. Okay, here we go. Steve, Julia, Perry, LaRue, Nidra, Bill, Judy, Jonathan, Dr. V, and Mike. Hey, Mike. You informed of the requirements of membership in Tyler Rotary. Do you accept them, agree to uphold the ideals of Rotary, and be vital and active part of this club? Thank you. On behalf of the Board of Directors and the Rotary Club of Tyler, you are all hereby inducted into membership. Love it. Here are your new member packets, which you received already, and your member badge. They received all of that already.
Yes, they have. And their pins.
Is there anything you'd like to say to our Rotary Club? Welcome to the club! Ladies and gentlemen, okay, we can all rise together and join in welcoming our newest Rotarians. Steve, Julia, Paris, Harry, Terry, LaRue, Nidra, Bill, Judy, Jonathan, Dr. B, and Mike. Welcome, everyone. And thank you all for being patient with me. Thank you. Yes. Yes, we did it.
Thank you very much, Rochelle. I don't think you could go out if you were given a magic wand and pick out 12 as good people as what we have being inducted in Rotary today. It's just wonderful. Gives us a depth and a diversity that is just excellent for our club. I commend all of you. We really have a lot to give to the community and to the world in promoting international peace and goodwill. Okay, time for the we're not doing it.
Ace of Diamonds, it's on there. It is, yeah.
There's 300.
Ace of Diamonds, I see it. It is on there. Okay. Time for the Ace of Diamonds. What's in the pot, JB? $377. $377. Okay. And picking the ticket. Why don't we let Rochelle do that? Wait, you're dropping tickets. Those are probably mine down there.
Okey dokey. We got a 9731. 731.
731, who's got it?
Of course you do.
Sure. I'm sure that's right. I hope that. Oh, okay, better luck next time. Let us stand, then we'll test of the things we think, say, or do. First.
Is it the truth?
Second.
Is it fair to all concerned?
Third.
Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth. Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
And we're out 3 minutes early. Merry Christmas. We are adjourned.